Hey everyone, welcome back to 22 Panels. This is the podcast that aims to examine, explore, and elevate the medium of comics. I am Tyler, and I have a cold in my nose. I'm sorry about that. And across the interwebs from me is Tad. How's it going, Tad?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
not answering that question
Yep,
this
I
week.
know. I know. It's been a crap week.
We'll get into it with the third news item
Yeah,
very briefly as I can manage. Um, let's start with the happy news items, and
sure.
you're gonna like this one
Yep.
because these are gorgeous. EC has unveiled their new. They're not using the Crypt Keeper.
No,
They have new horror hosts.
the grave
We have
digger.
we have the Grave Digger.
Love it.
We have the Tormentor.
She's got her eye patch is perfect. I love it.
Yeah, yeah. And we have the Grim Inquisitor.
The Grim Inquisitor. Nice.
So, yeah,
They
we
look
have
great.
our new horror hosts for the upcoming EC comic Epitaphs from the Abyss
Mm-hmm.
coming on July 24th. So, yeah, looking forward to that.
Yeah, the
Big news. Raina Telgemeier and Scott McCloud
mm-hmm.
are collaborating on a new book called The Cartoonist Club.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that
Looks
centers on four would-be comic creators with different strengths and weaknesses who come together to form a club. Um, yeah, Raina, Scott, actually the really only truly, I mean, it's pretty awesome that they're together.
mm-hmm.
Um, that is kind of surprising. But what's shocking to me is apparently, and this is, I guarantee this will change before the book actually comes out, but apparently, as of right now,
Mm-hmm.
it only has a 750,000 initial print run.
Okay.
I mean, just to give us an idea, right now, 80,000 in the standard comic industry
Okay.
is considered a really big book.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure what
So
what the
it's
numbers were
it's
like.
it's it's just been announced and it only has a 750,000 initial print run ordered at this point. This is a reminder that Guts, Raina's last book, had I think 1.25 million
Yes.
initial print
I
run and
just
has
re-
gone back to
I just read
print.
Guts because I have it at my public library where I work.
Oh, Guts is so good.
Yep, I just read it.
Isn't it great?
I love it.
Raina is great.
Yeah. I'd like to say I named
Um,
my daughter Raina after her, but I did not, and I spelled it differently too. I we have my Raina is
right.
Rayna.
YNA. So now we're gonna
Have to talk about this
I'm not gonna
debate.
say much about the debate. I'm not gonna talk much about the debate. It was painful. It
Yeah,
was painful because um Biden stumbled, but I'm not certain that anybody would have managed not to just stumble to the just rabid onslaught of lies.
mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, it's really hard when like you're debating with somebody who is spouting like massive big lies constantly.
Right.
I mean, I'm kind of upset that CNN made the decision not to fact check in real time.
I agree. It.
Particularly because some of them were incredibly blatant.
Yeah.
You know, when he claimed that um, he'd never called fallen soldiers um chumps or losers or whatever it
Yeah.
was.
Yep.
Um, that was something that John Kelly had confirmed on CNN's airwaves
Yep.
to Jake Tapper.
Right. Yeah, and Jake could
right?
have.
So
Jake
you
was
had a
sitting right
journalist
there.
who had been told directly by the general
Yep.
that the president was referring to,
Yep.
and because of the rules they set up, Jake couldn't say no. Mr. Former President, I was there when the man that
Yeah, I agree. I don't know what to say.
So on one side, it was painful watching Biden because he looked old, he stumbled. There's no way to sugarcoat that. I think the crooked media guys put it best when they said, "Look, um, is there a better option right now? Uh, Probably not.
Right.
It's too late. Um, is Biden a good president? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Is he a good man? Even more so. Does he love the country? Yes. Um, but anybody who's saying that we shouldn't even be talking about whether there's another option right now is asking the Democratic voters to deny reality.
I agree.
Because unfortunately, being a good president and being able to win an election are not always the same thing.
I agree. I agree. And
Um,
I just I don't think he's got it in him to win.
I don't know if I totally agree. I
Okay.
mean, like A, sat back and thought about it, and B, I've heard some, I think it was Lawrence O'Donnell that was pointing out last night that this was like the least watched debate ever.
Was it?
Had about 50 million viewers. Yeah.
Huh.
Had about 50 million viewers as a comparison. He used, I want to say the Clinton Perot H.W. Bush debates.
Yeah.
About 80 million people voted, or about 85 million people voted in that election, right?
Yeah.
And there'd been about 80 million people watching the debates. Whereas we had 150 million people vote in 2020, and only about 50 million people were watching last night.
Hmm.
What's more is that was the last time that the Democrats really talked about um, changing a candidate this late, because after the first debate in 92, Ross Perot was actually leading,
Yep. I remember that.
and then Clinton, or no, then Bush,
Bush.
and then Clinton. Clinton only had 25% of the was only polling at 25% in a three-man field in 92 and wound up winning. And the first debate was later at that point. So, I mean, and for that matter, Biden still has his biggest asset going for him. His single biggest asset is his name is not Donald J. Trump.
Yeah. I agree.
Which hopefully anybody else on the ballot would also get, but would any of them make a better president? Becomes the question.
Exactly.
Because nothing that we saw Thursday night makes me wonder about whether or not he can continue being president. You know, there aren't many times the president needs to come up with a reasoned, nuanced, and zinger of a response to a 2-minute barrage of lies. It's not how the job works.
I agree.
But I'm gonna finish the debate with, I think, uh, uh, Robert Reich, the Clinton's labor secretary, as a Substack, and after the debate, he just put out a handful of quotes that I think are worth remembering, both for the quotes themselves and who they were made by or referring to. The great masses of the people will more easily fall victim to a big lie than to a small one. Adolf Hitler, Mein Kampf. If you tell a lie big enough and keep repeating it, people will eventually come to believe it. The lie can be maintained only for such time as the state can shield the people from the political, economic, and/or military consequences of the lie. It thus becomes vitally important for the state to use all of its power to repress dissent, for the truth is the mortal enemy of the lie, and thus, by extension, the truth is the greatest enemy of the state. Attributed to Joseph Goebbels. And these next two are from the American OSS Psychological Profile of Hitler. The OSS was the precursor to the CIA.
Mm-hmm.
His primary rules were never allow the public to cool off, never admit a fault or wrong, never concede that there may be some good in your enemy, never leave room for alternatives, never accept blame, concentrate on one enemy at a time and blame him for everything that goes wrong. People will believe a big lie sooner than a little one. And if you repeat it frequently enough, people will sooner or later believe it. And from a scientific point of view, therefore, we are forced to consider Hitler, the Fuhrer, not as a personal devil, wicked as his actions and philosophies may be, but as the expression of a state of mind existing in millions of people, not only in Germany, but to a smaller degree in all civilized countries. To remove Hitler may be a necessary first step, but it would not be the cure. It would be analogous to curing an ulcer without treating the underlying disease. If similar eruptions are to be prevented in the future, we cannot content ourselves with simply removing the overt manifestations of the disease. On the contrary, we must ferret out and seek to correct the underlying factors which produce the unwelcome phenomena. We must discover the psychological streams which nurture this destructive state of mind in order that we may divert them into channels which will permit a further evolution of our form of civilization.
So
that quote's why I do what I do.
Right.
Teaching, actually talking about these things, applying logic, learning history. That's how we're a great nation. Anybody who's saying make our nation great again by ignoring progress, by denying that the nation's ever done anything wrong, by implying that to be great we need to be homogenous and all think the same things.
Right. Exactly.
That's I'm sad that they can't see how great a nation of ideas is. And I'm furious that like there are enough of them that they hold as much sway as they often do.
Exactly. I mean, it's scary.
In light of that, and in case people missed it, yesterday the Supreme Court decided that any January 6th defendant that didn't actually destroy a document, because the law had been written about Enron destroying documents, even though the law most of us thought was pretty clear that, or other things that would obstruct an investigation, means that like there are things other than document destruction that they wanted it to cover.
Right.
But yeah, so they decided that hundreds of January 6th defendants had been improperly charged. So who knows what will happen with that. They decided that the town in Oregon is well within its rights to outlaw sleeping in public, that because that law could apply to a backpacker as well as a homeless person, it's not really about homelessness at all. It's just about, people don't like it when people sleep in public. And they overturned Chevron.
Yeah.
Mind you, this is where this isn't getting nearly enough. Chevron is the ruling that says judges cannot be expected to be experts in fields. So
Right.
so when there's ambiguity in a law, you defer to the government agency in charge of executing the law. In other words, the Environmental Protection Agency knows more about water cleanliness than federal judges. Or, you know, the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, knows more about banking than federal judges. Um, and mind you, this law came into account because the Reagan administration, specifically Neil Gorsuch's mother, had been sued because their EPA wasn't doing enough for the environment.
Right.
And the Supreme Court at the time said, well, the EPA knows better than we do. But now that the shoe's on the other foot, now that agencies are doing more than the Republicans want them to do, rather than happily doing less than the Democrats would like them to do, they've overturned the doctrine. They've decided, no, judges are the ones that should decide that.
God. That's it. Yeah. I don't even know what to say.
Yeah. As well, it's being framed a little bit as an abortion win that they didn't rule in favor of Idaho in terms of whether or not Idaho could refuse to give an emergency abortion to a woman whose health was at risk, preempting federal law.
Right.
But they didn't actually rule on that. They decided that this case that they had inserted themselves into, they shouldn't have inserted themselves into.
Right.
So essentially, they just admitted that it was just a stalling tactic. I mean, they came up with all sorts of convoluted logic for, oh, well, we thought it was this, and now it turns out not to be this. And since it's not that, then we shouldn't be ruling at this time.
Yeah.
And then on top of everything else, you know what they haven't ruled on yet?
What's that?
They still haven't ruled on Donald Trump's immunity,
Oh, that's true.
giving him exactly what he needs, which is just
Time.
delay, delay,
Yep.
delay, delay. Um, on the upside, they did also deny Steve Bannon's last minute bid to not have to go to prison on Monday.
Yep.
So I mean, there's that. I mean, I don't know what to say when like that's the big piece of news
Right.
is that at least Steve Bannon will finally go to prison for obstruction
Yep.
of Congress.
Yep.
Um, yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, let's get into some actual comic stuff.
Yes, let's get back to comics.
Let's get back to comics.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
Sorry, it was I needed to release a little bit.
Sure. No, I get it. So, one of the
I realized that I put some stuff out of order.
Yeah, I'm
how
like
I wanted
I'm
to do
watching
it.
your
There we
screen
go.
flip. There we go.
Yeah, no. There we
New
go.
comic series this
Let's
month.
talk some new to order comic series.
Yeah, let me enlarge my screen so I can read that. In this one is The Autumn by Cullen
The
Bunn
Autumn
and
Kingdom.
I couldn't read that.
Sorry.
The Autumn Kingdom by Cullen Bunn and Christopher Mitten. In the borderlands between imagination and reality, horror and fantasy, master storyteller Cullen Bunn and visionary artist Christopher Mitten begin one family's labyrinthian descent through a perilous forest where the local folklore is anything but a myth. Bestselling author Andrew Keir found the perfect place to finish his latest dark fantasy novel, an idyllic remote cabin on the edge of a lush Swedish forest. His young daughters, Summer and Winter, gleefully explore until they happen upon a strange clearing of ancient statues, goblins, dwarves, elves, and a warrior queen mysteriously missing her sword hand and weapon. When something sinister follows the girls home and viciously snatches their parents in the night, the sisters' only hope may be that ancient relic lost in the forest underbrush, waiting for a new champion to take it up. I really like Cullen Bunn, so I'm excited for this. This looks pretty cool to me.
Dark Empty Void from
Yeah.
Zach Kaplan and Chris Sheehan. Scientists have created a stable microscopic black hole in a secret underground compound. But when they lose control, the black hole spews out a cosmic maelstrom, strange, dangerous creatures, and most surprisingly, a mysterious human teenage girl. Now a depressed but brilliant psychologist must help her estranged husband and the other scientists solve the mystery and close the black hole before it consumes all of Earth. Dare to witness a cosmic horror series that will amaze and terrify you with hit comic creator Zach Kaplan and fan favorite artist Chris Sheehan, rising star colorist Francesco Segala, and Ringo nominated letterer Justin Birch, coming from Mad Cave Studios on September 11th.
I like the color palette for the cover. Those pinks and purples really kind of they're cool.
Zach's been killing it.
Yeah,
Zach's been killing it. We'll have to talk to him again.
sure.
Darn. I'll just be crushed
darn.
talking to Zach again.
Is this one Prairie Gods? Is this one mine?
Yep.
All right, Prairie Gods.
Can't even remember what you highlighted, man. God.
I'm sorry. I'm getting worse and worse. I'm not feeling well, and I can tell I'm like losing my focus here. Prairie Gods.
Let's start it. Try to hammer through this.
Prairie Gods Race the Devil from Shane Connery Volk. Created by the artists of Nottingham, Prairie Gods is the Twilight Zone meets Sin City. Each self-contained issue centers on supernatural events and characters in and around the small prairie town of Broadacres. The series will resonate with fans of Hellboy, while the shifting genres and themes will appeal to fans of westerns, crime, race car movies, the Lost Treasure serials, and war stories with a dose of action throughout. The first exhilarating story features Freddie Davis, a champion race car driver who has returned home to Broadacres. He buys the abandoned speedway intending to race its only undefeated driver, the devil himself. This looks pretty cool. I like the cover. The cover looks awesome. That's also done by Shane Connery Volk. So check it out.
And I mean, this is just more Mad Cave killing it.
Yeah,
Mad Cave killing it.
for sure.
So,
What do we got? Oh,
Plastic Man No More. Hard-boiled Plastic Man Noir from Eisner-nominated writer Christopher Cantwell and artist Alex Linz. Eel O'Brien might be a superhero now, but before he was anything else, he was a crook. Until the accident that turned him into the pliable Plastic Man, Eel was bad to the bone. And just because he no longer has bones doesn't mean that's not still true. When an accident on a Justice League mission leads to catastrophic cellular damage, Plastic Man discovers he might just be out of time to make amends for the past he's tried hard to outrun, or to save the soul of his son, who, unfortunately for him, might have inherited more from dear old dad than just his superpowers. Christopher Cantwell and Alex Wynn bring you the 5 words you thought you'd never read. Hard-boiled plastic man noir. And hey, if we're crazy enough to greenlight that concept, you won't believe the things we're crazy enough to do in this book.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. I've never really been
Chris
a
has been
plastic.
excited for this for a long time. He was amazed when they actually greenlighted it, and yeah.
I know very little about Plastic Man, but this looks cool.
Oh, go read Kyle Baker's run.
Okay.
Kyle Baker's run is amazing.
Okay. I can definitely do that. All
All
right.
right, let's do some graphic novels.
Graphic novels Backflash from Matt
This is me.
Johnson.
This is mine. This is mine. I picked this one.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you did. You did. I could tell I am like way off here. Go for it, Dad. I am so sorry.
Overwhelmed with grief over the death of his mother, shamed by his failures in marriage and fatherhood, and burdened by massive debt, Devin's life is spiraling out of control. That is, until he discovers the impossible nostalgia is his superpower. With a random touch of family memorabilia, he can mentally travel back in time, reliving the best moments of his past while finding relief in the present. With his mother gone, Devin can now investigate her greatest secret, the identity of the father he never knew. But the more Devin backflashes into time, the faster his present life falls apart. On this hunt for a truth that was never supposed to come to light, Devin must come to terms with his past if he wants any chance at a future. From Matt Johnson and Steve Lieber and Dark Horse Comics, out November 20th.
I really like the vinyl records in the background.
Yep.
Those are pretty cool.
Yep.
Yeah, that looks cool.
This one is yours.
This one is mine. Thank you. Before 13th, from Michael Ralph and Jason Piperberg and Laura Molnar. Told from the perspectives of statesman and orator Frederick Douglass, the journalist and activist Ida B. Wells, Before 13th is a story that illuminates the contradictions of freedom. Friends and rivals Douglass and Wells clashed over how to grapple with racism and exoticism that defined portrayals of African Americans at the 1896 Chicago World's Fair, where Douglass was invited to speak after they initially agreed to boycott the event. It uses the story of this real-life conflict as a lens through which we see the history of slavery and incarceration as never before. Historical anthropologist Michael Ralph joins forces with artists Jason Piperberg and acclaimed illustrator Laura Molnar to reimagine these two influential Black Americans and the controversy surrounding the 13th Amendment, which some contend did not abolish slavery, claiming instead it was used to keep African Americans in a condition approximating bondage in the years immediately following emancipation. I like this kind of story. This is going to be pretty cool. I'm really interested in the Chicago World's Fair.
I love the history comics we've been getting lately.
Mm-hmm.
I love the history comics we've been getting lately. And this is where we'll share with the world. I shared it on Blue Sky. I shared it with Nate and Andrew directly yesterday. One of the things that pulled me out of my stupor yesterday, my debate Supreme Court driven stupor yesterday, was I was at a Barnes and Noble, a chain bookstore. I was looking for their graphic novel section because it was one that I hadn't been in before. And I found a facing of all of March and Run. And I was first just so happy that they had enough copies that it was facing out. It wasn't spined. It was, hey, look at me, look at me. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Where are the other comics? And I looked up and it was in the U.S. history section. And I wept with joy.
It wasn't even in the graphic novel section. I know.
That's right.
It's pretty cool.
That's right.
I like it.
It was in the history section. Like, comics are a medium. They're not a genre. In a bookstore, if you're not going to separate them by at least nonfiction and fiction, blah, 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 the better way to do it is have the history ones with the history books. Have the sci-fi with the sci-fi. Have the fantasy with the fantasy. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah, it was awesome. That's awesome.
And I didn't take a picture, but I did turn, and in the world history section,
Yeah.
also front and center and faced out so you could see it, mouse.
I have seen that before too, where I've
Yeah,
seen mouse
yeah.
in random spots.
It just it like overwhelmed me with joy. So
That's
here you
awesome.
go.
Downlands, the hardcover from Norm Connew, a wonderfully evocative ghost story in the great tradition of M.R. James and Daphne de Maurier with a contemporary edge. Perfect for Halloween and illustrated in Norm's own gorgeous style. Every village has its stories, those of living and those of the dead. After the sudden death of his twin sister, 14-year-old James Reynolds becomes obsessed with her tale of a black hound, a folkloric creature that is regarded as a portent of death. Enlisting the aid of his elderly neighbor, who the local children call the Witch, he delves into the centuries of village history, folklore, and ghosts until he uncovers a deeper secret beyond his darkest nightmares, beyond the sight of most, and beyond the mortal veil. Set in South Downs of England, a place that has been home to the Celts, Romans, and Vikings, James' story is interwoven with the tales from his own village that also blur the line between the living and the dead. Yeah, this looks really cool. I like the artwork
It
on the
does.
cover. I keep saying that. But this is out from Titan Comics.
From Difference Engine PTE Limited, Sound, a comics anthology, edited by Bougette, Tan, and Karis Loke. Traffic, a crunchy snack. An argument. What does sound look like to you? Difference Engine presents our first comics anthology, Sound, a comics anthology. Writers and illustrators from all around Southeast Asia were challenged to push the boundaries of depicting the unseen through the medium of visuals and words while telling stories important to them. Uh, Editors Bujet Tan and Karis Loke have put together an intriguing list of stories to showcase the creativity of creators across Southeast Asia, both familiar and new names, in a broad range of genres and topics. This collection of stories is an exciting exploration of what the comics medium is capable of.
Yeah, that looks really cool
I
too.
just I love doing I love I mean, I love music and comics.
Yep.
I love anything in comics that's meant to evoke smell or touch. I love that having the words and pictures allows creative comics people to evoke all of the senses. So having one that's focusing on one sense and comics evocations of it, it excites me a lot. I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking forward to this book.
Yeah, very cool.
So let's talk some um, collections.
Yeah. Deathstalker. This one is mine, right?
Yep,
Okay, good. Deathstalker.
you picked this one out.
Can you scroll down just a little bit? What's the subtitle of this one? Deathstalker. The Return of the Last Great Warrior King. From Tim Seeley / Stephen Kostansky, Jim Terry, and Nathan Gooden. The cult cinema hero Deathstalker bursts into comics from an all-star lineup of creators, including Slash, writer-director Stephen Kostansky, Tim Seeley, and Jim Terry. Deathstalker
I
finds
feel
himself...
like you just said that.
I did. I shouldn't have read. I shouldn't have read it.
No, I'm just.
Deathstalker finds himself once again caught between forces larger than himself, including a virgin-worshipping cult, a sorcerer hell-bent on saving the world through mad science, and the pissed-off army of the Abraxian Kingdom, not to mention his ex-lover, Princess Evie. Monsters, magic, and mayhem abound. Can a guy just swing his sword anymore? It looks cool. I'm really excited
It
for it.
does. It does. I read the first issue. I'm loving it.
Yeah, that's cool.
We've talked about this so much that I almost don't need to read it, but I'm going to anyway. Um, uh, Recently, Russ Manning Award nominated for newcomer to comics. Patrick Horvath brings us Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. The collection comes out September 18th, 2024. Don't murder the locals. This is small town serial killer, upstanding citizen, and adorable brown bear Samantha Strong's cardinal rule. After all, there's a sea of perfectly ripe potential victims in the big city just beyond the forest. And when you've worked as hard as Sam to build a cozy life and a thriving business in a community surrounded by friendly fellow animal folk, warm decor, and the aroma of cedar trees and freshly baked apple pie, the last thing you want is to disturb the peace. So you can imagine her indignation when one of Woodbrook's own meets a grisly, mysterious demise. You wouldn't blame her for doing anything it takes to hunt down her rival before the town self-destructs and Sheriff Patterson starts literally barking up the wrong tree.
That's awesome. I can't wait for this book. I'm going to buy it again. I bought it in issues. I'm going to buy it again.
No, I will definitely be buying the trade. I love this series.
It was so good.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy it for a gift.
I actually went and found some Kickstarter stuff.
Did you?
Yeah.
Cool.
But I guess we've got our quick final order cutoff. Kosher Mafia #1 from David Hazan, Sammy Cabela at Mad Cave. We talked about a few times, and it's not a #1, but they've been gone for just long enough that I want to remind people. Saga #67, Brian K. Vaughan and Jonas Staples is on final order cutoff this week. So if for whatever reason you're only now jumping onto single issue Saga, get that order in. Crowdfunding right now. Drumsticks of Doom banned on the Silver Mountain #1 from John Westhoff and Dan Doherty.
That's a great title.
Zoop and 7-2. Drumsticks of Doom is back with a brand new miniseries and with all previous issues. Lana and the band head to the mysterious Silver Mountain to record their album, but some uninvited guests want to join the jam session. There's also a plush available for fans of Hellboy, Scott Pilgrim, and heavy metal. So yeah, you can get the new issue. You can order the back issues. Yeah, this looks cool. And that's it says 4 days left. So by the time this airs, there'll be a couple days left. So get on top of that right now if you're interested. It's at Zoop, and actually they're about $1,000 short of funding as of Saturday morning at a little before 8 Central.
Okay.
So definitely get on top of that. Iron Barge. Let's see. I had it down at the creators. I gotta go up to the. A duty-bound otter and an outlaw lemur must learn to trust each other as they flee a vengeful band of pirates in a post-apocalyptic Las Vegas ruled by animals. The Iron Barge is a talking animal adventure story in the tradition of Mouse Guard, Watership Down, and the Jungle Book, loaded with high-stakes action, a little bit of humor, and a unique world building. It'll be a book appropriate for upper middle grade and YA readers or anyone seeking a new twist on dystopian fiction. This is coming from writer Norm Harper and artist Megan Carter. It is on Kickstarter through July 5th, 11 a.m. Central Time.
It looks cool. I like the...
It does.
Yeah.
And then finally, Bandits of Batavia #1, an action-packed crime thriller based on Indonesian folklore and history. This is through July 11th on Kickstarter from Henry Barajas and who's my artist? I hate that you got to scroll all the way down for the artist most of the time. They need to take more credit. Oh, Brian Valenza.
Yeah, it's
Henry Barajas and Brian Valenza. From the publisher Beyond Topia. And inspired by Indonesian folklore, our story begins in 1865 when a massive wildfire burns down the Rawabalong village, causing many residents to lose family, friends, and homes. The police enact a large-scale manhunt for those responsible, a group of supernatural bandits The Bandits of Batavia. So, yeah,
Awesome.
this looks cool.
I like that kind of folklorish kind of stuff.
Yep.
It looks cool.
So, Tyler, what did you love this week?
I loved Michael Avon Oeming. I don't know if you've
Oh,
noticed, but he had 2 books out this week that both.
Well, and they were both so good.
Yeah. William of Newbury, #2. This is a great new series. If you guys are unfamiliar with Michael Avon Oeming's creator-owned story, this is one to check out. It's only in issue 2, so get on it right away.
Well, go listen to our talk with him. It's based on actual
Yep.
English history. He's going back to his mouse guard days and doing like a raccoon.
Yeah, I love it. And then we've got
and I can say right now, because he was kind enough to give us the entire series before we talked to him,
yep.
that there's no fall off. The whole series is great. 4 issues. Get in there now or pre-order your trade paperback the second it's available. William of Newbury is amazing.
It is so good. And then keeping with Michael Avon Oeming, but adding in James Tynion IV, Blue Book 1947, #5. This book is just continues
wrapping up their flying saucer.
Yep.
Exploration.
Yep.
It was great.
Loved it. And then I'm not going to say a lot about this because I know it's on your list, Tad. But
yeah, your #3 was my #1.
It doesn't. I didn't know. I just was really impressed with Michael Avon Oeming this week. And
it was a good week in comics.
Yeah, yeah. But
we keep having great weeks in comics.
It is no slam against this book. Animal Pound #4 from Tom King and Peter Gross, out on Boom.
I mean, Tom King just continues to kill it, but the way that Piggy the what is that? An English bulldog, a pug? What? Yeah,
I think so.
Like. How to put this? I'm so glad I read it before the debate.
Yeah, that's true.
Because then I got to watch the real version of it in the debate, and at least rather than like having the real version fresh in my mind, I was able to like enjoy it because I knew the real version was out there. But at least this creator like knew it too and was giving us this allegory to see how dangerous it is.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Because I mean, I like the scripting even had the Trumpian like vocal rhythms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But
certainly like a lot. I mean, I can't wait to talk about this book with Tom again. Because it's everything that his pitch that he was horrified when it became public promised that it would be, and I hope that he's right and it gets taught in schools alongside Animal Farm. I mean, it's worth putting there to show how extremism on either side can delude rational thought and doesn't lead to good places. Trigger warning: if you love bunnies, this will be a hard book.
This will be hard. Yeah. What else do you got on your list?
Romit's #2. Rick Remender, Brian Posehn, and Moreno Dinicio. This is their like teen skater comedy in Sacramento in the 90s, and I just love it.
Cool. I'm gonna have to check it out. It kind of went under my radar.
I just love it. Yeah. And then Resident Alien, The Book of Life #1, Peter Hogan, Steve Parkhouse. New volume of Resident Alien. Resident Alien is just a fun book. The TV show is pretty cool too. So if you're watching the TV show, remember that it came from a comic and come read the comic. Most of them are.
I have not. I've tried on a couple different. Arcs to get into Resident Alien, and it's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
I just can't.
I mean, that's allowed.
Yeah.
But it's like an alien I
in the
mean, the
medical
way to
field.
look at this is it's like imagine that Joel Fleischman in Northern Exposure
Yep,
was actually an alien in disguise.
correct. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Because a small town doctor is an alien in disguise.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes there's murder mysteries and sometimes there's just life stuff and yeah, I like it. I like it. I think it's a fun book.
Cool.
So
Cool. Anansi's
I
Boys,
pulled
also cool.
ahead in the One Piece race.
Big time pulled ahead. I
I actually got to the Grand Line. You're not to the Grand Line yet.
no, I have just finished their food barge, Barati, I think it's called.
Yeah,
And
yeah, which was great.
yeah,
I loved that,
yeah, they have this
and I love
big
I
fight
love
with
that
Don
that
Krieg.
character that joins them. The chef that joins them is a cool guy.
Yeah, his backstory was really cool about how he got to the Barati, and
Right.
Kenji Sanji? That's his name. The chef. But I'm really enjoying it because where I'm at right now is they just left that restaurant and they're on their way to find Nami. Remember, Nami had taken off with the.
That's right. Nami ran off. Nami ran off.
Yep, she took
Get
the
some
merry-go.
twists with Nami coming up.
Yeah, where I'm at, they just found out she's in another pirate crew.
Yep.
And I can't think of the guy's name that she's hooked up with, but
I forget, but he's the one that's got like a massive number of. He's like the Godfather.
yeah, Arlong.
He's got what 70 ships. There you go.
Arlong. I'm just looked it up here.
Arlong.
Where I'm at is Usopp is trying to find Arlong, trying to make it
Right.
his mission to bring
Yep.
Nami back from Arlong. So
Yep. And you know, I mean, I loved the humor of the. I mean, you were talking about the restaurant boat.
Mhm.
That was some of the funniest fight sequences
oh yeah,
like ever.
100%.
Oh
And
my
it went on.
God.
You know, my only complaint is not a real thing here. I'm not complaining. But my only thing is that sometimes it's hard for me to tell what's going on in all the action when I'm trying to look at the
Because
picture.
there's so much action, and
Yes.
it's like one fight scene will go over like 10 chapters.
Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to
Can you imagine if you had to wait a week to see the next part of the fight scene?
I know.
I don't know. I don't know if I could read manga
this.
like in the way. Yeah, it would be interesting
Because it would drive me nuts, 'cause it
sometime
was-
I'd like to try,
'cause
but
it's- Yeah. It would drive me nuts
Yeah.
because like that some of those fight scenes between Don Krieg and Luffy or Luffy, whatever,
right.
went on for so long, right? Where he had his big
Right.
shield and like he would shoot stuff out of his shield, and then it'd be like a
Right.
couple pages, and Luffy would finally block it. It would finally get to him. I mean, it
Right.
took a long time for
Right.
them to get through the action.
Yeah, it's definitely like very different from what we're used to.
Uh-huh.
And I don't say that as a bad thing. I
No.
love it, but
No,
like,
I'm just it's like I said, it's not a criticism. It's just something I've
right.
noticed.
No, I mean it's similar to like how we talked about when we were reading The Killer, how European comics are so much more willing to just sit with space.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to have 4 or 5 pages of like no dialogue and very little action that are just setting tone in the passage of time.
Yeah. And whereas manga and One Piece in particular, the opposite.
Well, yeah, manga can do that sometimes too, but with One Piece, a lot of the time it's like, let's put it into like John Woo / Matrix bullet mode.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I was just gonna. I mean, the Matrix was on my mind. Because in the Matrix, right,
Yeah.
you see all the action slowed way down on a number of scenes,
Right.
And that's what I feel like is
Right.
going on here. Is like we're just watching it.
But it continues to be funny. It continues to. I love the moral code of our particular group of pirates.
Yeah.
Um, they're really like they're good. Like,
Well, I don't think Nami's good. I don't know yet. I
uh,
think she's got an agenda of her own. Obviously, she took off with the
she
merry-go,
does,
and
but
she ended up with
you
Arlong's pirates.
know, I hope you manage to catch up by next week because I'm
I'm
going
going to
to
do my
be
best.
really interested to ask you. So, what do you think of Nami now?
Okay.
Um, because there's a story there. We finally get a lot of Nami backstory here.
Oh, good.
Um, and yeah, there are reasons why she is who
I
she
was
is and why
surprised.
she
I
got
have to
that
tell
way.
you, when you told me by chapter 100 you were on the Grand Line, I was
It's actually
surprised.
100 that they get to the Grand Line.
Okay, okay. I was
So I
surprised.
wonder if they like planted that.
Yeah, I was surprised considering how long the series is. It's like, where are they going to go next? You know what I mean? Because we're only
Well, the Grand Line, they got to go all the way around the world. It's essentially like the equator.
okay. You're right. So I kind of just forgot about that. They reached the Grand Line, but now they got to travel it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if they want the One Piece, they got a long way to go.
Because where you're at, you're essentially probably what, almost a tenth of the way through the series.
Yeah, about a tenth of the way through.
Yeah. So
And they've just gotten to the beginning of their journey.
right. I thought, but considering
I mean,
how much is
we're,
left,
we're
I thought
talking we're talking Fellowship of the Rings level slow.
you're right.
Really.
It is slow.
I mean, it doesn't feel like it because of the way the action sequences work, but like
'Cause, yeah, they just can't get anywhere without running into all kinds of
but
trouble.
like their journey is we're going to the Grand Line to go after the One Piece. I mean, for that matter, I mean, and sometimes you can make it work. Think of how far into A New Hope it was before we met Han Solo.
True. True.
It's like 40 minutes into the movie, the first time Han Solo appeared.
I never thought about that before, but yeah, he is a late comer to the movie.
Right. But nothing really happens until he appears.
That's true. Well, Luke's parents get killed. Luke's aunt and uncle get murdered, but
Right, but that was off screen anyway.
that's true. It was off screen.
It's not like there was and I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm saying that like it's a type of storytelling risk that you don't see a lot
Yeah, you're right.
to have that level of
Build up.
preamble.
Preamble is a good word for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm loving our race.
I
I
yeah,
mean,
this week I just will and part of my
3 weeks to get to 120 chapters. So right now I'm on pace to be done in 30 weeks.
all right. Uh, I'll pick it up this week. I'll pick it up. Catch up.
Yeah, no, I was trying to make a point of 20 chapters a day. I didn't do my 20 chapters yesterday, but that's like the goal that I've set myself is 20 chapters. 20
Okay.
chapters. 20 chapters.
All right. I'll stick
Uh,
I'll try to get to that myself so that I can catch up to where you're at.
it's not as hard to do as I expected it to be. It's just like an hour or two of reading,
Yep.
depending on how much action
Yep.
and how many distractions I have. Um, you know,
Yeah. No, I can see that.
but yeah, it's been fun.
I
And
I
we
like
have
it.
the upside that this is a fifth week, so there aren't quite as many great comics to read this week.
Oh, really? I hadn't thought
Yeah.
about it.
I mean,
What
there
week of the
there
month is it?
are a lot of great comics to read this week, but not quite as many.
I know, and I didn't look at your
I
list.
mean,
I didn't look at your list, but we have got the same one. My number one and your number
I mean, to
three.
give you an idea, like last week I had 7 lines of honorable mentions.
Yeah.
That's lines, not titles, because remember with honorable mentions I don't hit enter in between. This week there's only 5 lines of honorable mentions.
Okay. Yeah, that is quite a bit less. Cool. So, yeah.
And one of them is Grendel Devil's Crucible Defiance, which is a pretty long title.
I know. I know.
Or for that matter, another one is All the Things We Didn't Do Last Night, and another one is Barbaric Born in Blood. So we've got 3 long titles.
Yeah.
And our only 5 lines of,
Yeah, it's not very many at all.
Right.
Anything else about One Piece?
We had short titles like No One and Penguin and Grimm and Daredevil this week.
Anything else about One Piece that you wanted to highlight?
Not right now. I'm loving it.
Yeah, it's great.
It's fun.
It's great.
It's fun.
All right. So the official numbers are Chad is at chapter 120 and I am
120.
And I am at chapter 71.
I have finished chapter 120.
Okay. I have
finished chapter 120.
I am just starting 71. So
yeah.
Anywho.
So if we're going just started, I'd just be starting 121.
Okay. 50 ahead. I can catch up. That's only 2.5 days.
I mean, that's about how far I was behind you last week.
I know. Exactly. It's doable. I just had a few days where I didn't read anything at all because I wasn't feeling great yesterday.
No, I get it. I get it. I totally get it.
It's hard for me to read when I have a headache, so.
I wouldn't be surprised if we wind up trading the lead once or twice.
I know. That's what I was thinking. This is going to be a long marathon.
I mean, among other things, I do a lot more pre-reading than you do.
Mm-hmm.
For like interviews and stuff.
Yep.
So like when we have too many, well, not too many because I love getting them, but when we have
a lot,
like a lot of early look stuff, I'll be spending time with that. And I've been getting access to more and more graphic novels early look, and those are longer.
Yep.
So yeah.
So
what am I looking forward to?
Yeah, what are you looking forward to? 3 books you hope will be spectacular.
Scarlet #2, Kelly Thompson and Marco Ferrari. I can't believe the top of my list is a G.I. Joe book, but she had such a perfect balance of character development and just beautiful action in the last issue that I can't wait.
Nice.
Public Domain #6, Chip Zdarsky returns with his writer-artist book about an old comic book artist and dealing with publishing type stuff, which, like, I know I'm making it sound so compelling, but
so
I'm a nerd for that sort of thing, and Chip Zdarsky's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, he is.
And then Free Agents #1, Kurt Busiek, Fabian Nicieza, and Stephen Mooney. Kurt Busiek doing a comic is going to have me on board to begin with.
Exactly.
This one looks pretty cool.
It does look really good. So, my 3 books, I started with Free Agents #1, Kurt Busiek and Fabian Nicieza.
So we went the opposite of our amazing books, where you finished with Animal Pound and I started it.
Yeah, Free Agents just caught my attention with Kurt's name on it. Yeah. And then my second pick, this was almost my lead pick for next week.
This is good.
Grendel, Devil's Crucible Defiance, #1 from Matt Wagner. I'm a huge Grendel fan. I've suggested that you and I do a Grendel Great Responsibility.
I'm certain we will at some point.
Yeah.
It might even be right after One Piece if we're insane.
Sure. I'm down for it.
I recommend that we choose at least a couple of graphic novels in between, because it will take almost as long as One Piece.
I've got Grendel Omnibus Volume 1, and I'm looking for an excuse to buy the rest of them. So this will be perfect.
Well, yeah. I'm certain that we will do Grendel.
Okay. And then Local Man.
Let's see how long One Piece takes and decide how we're gonna.
Well, you already said
proceed from there.
Your pace is 30 weeks, so it's going to be a while. And then,
and honestly, I want to up that because I want to catch up before it ends. It's supposed to end early next year.
That's true. My last comic is Local Man #11 from Tim Seeley and Tony Fleeks from Image.
This series has been great.
I'm loving it.
So
Loving it.
I can't argue.
These two, Tim Seeley and
Can't
Tony
argue
Fleeks,
that.
make a great
They do.
pair for rating comics. So.
And they're both fun to talk to.
Mm-hmm. Who was your action
Fun to
figure there?
talk
I
to.
missed it.
Oh, I just was playing a little Spider Punk.
Nice. I got
Actually, you know what I got yesterday? I haven't opened it yet, so I don't have it down here. I got the Bugs Bunny and what's the the Bugs Bunny baseball cartoon
Yeah.
where he like plays all the positions
Yeah. And he runs to first base, second base, third base. Yeah.
and pitches and
Yep.
so there was an action figure set. Let me I'll pull it up to show it to you. An action figure set that came with him and the Gas House Gorilla
Oh, cool.
with a swinging bat. I got that yesterday.
Where'd you find that at?
Just like toy store in Kenosha,
Nice.
like a vintage toy store comic,
Mm-hmm.
one of those places that has all sorts of old. You'd like it. The next time you're out here, you should go up there.
Cool.
It's totally your type of place.
Nice. I'll definitely check it out. I just got the X-Men's jet, their Blackbird jet that they fly around in.
Oh, okay.
I just got that as a Lego set from my daughter for Father's Day. And her and I put it together the other day, so it's pretty sweet. It's smaller than I would have thought or would have liked.
I saw this there too.
Martian Manhunter, the Daffy Duck.
Well, but remember the Duck Dodgers?
Yes.
24th century.
Yes. Or not Martian Manhunter. What's his name?
I love that they used to have packs that like went to specific cartoons.
That's true. They went to specific episodes of those cartoons because they were so
Right.
iconic. Like every episode.
Right.
Anywho,
So,
well, that's all we've got for comics this week. Be sure to
think
check
so.
out our Patreon if you want to support the show. We would greatly appreciate it.
please feel free to give us money.
Yeah.
Money's good.
Please check out our Patreon. And as always, hit that subscribe button. And yeah, we'll catch you guys.
And if you like us, rate us and review us well. And if you don't like us, then why are you still listening? And please don't like review bomb us just because we don't like Trump.
Yeah. All right. So we'll catch you guys after the next page. Later. Hey guys, this is Tyler from 22 Panels. I'm here to tell you all about our Patreon. If you enjoy this show, please consider donating to our Patreon to keep this show going. We have many different tiers, all different levels to help you decide what's right for you. Okay, so get on out there to patreon.com/22panelspodcast.